Hi there. Thank you for joining my talk on this topic when creative AI meets conversational AI. So before I start, I'd like to remind you that I'm available for chat during the talk. So as questions come up, please click on the chat button on the bottom right of this web browser to submit your questions. Thank you very much. So, my name is Xianchao Wu. I'm from NVIDIA. I'm a senior solution architect and also a data scientist in NVIDIA Japan. So basically, I focus on conversational AI, financial with AI, and also large-scale pre-trained language models. So nice to have you be here. Okay, so outlines. I will cover three topics about interactive creative AI. The first one is painting. Basically, we briefly introduce GAN neural network and then propose how to apply GAN to AI-based painting. The second one is about text generation, poetry. So basically, we'd like to cover some algorithm that can generate, for example, traditional Chinese poem, a modern Chinese poem, and multilingual cases. Third one will be the most exciting part from my own opinion, which is AI-based music and singing. So I will cover from pure music, such as piano, to multi-instrument, which can include guitar, piano, a lot of things. Yeah, and also about how could we let the AI to singing, the chatbot to singing, based on the given melody, arrangement, and also lyrics. Okay, let's go to the first part. You know this breaking news, right? It's surprised a lot of people at the time of 2018, October 25, with a gun generated portrait for Edmund Bellamy. So it was sold for $400,000, which is huge, right? And this is amazing, right? It's totally created by AI, right? This is a formula that's used to create this picture, which is 70 centimeters times 70 centimeters large, right? And this is the maximum mean progress. So let's just briefly go to the a little bit detail of this equation of how exactly it's working there inside the um, function. So what is GAN? Its full name is Generative Adversarial Network. So suppose there are two rows here. So one is detector and the second one is generator. So the generator is trying to create some money from noise. Uh, and the detector is trying to separate correctly which one is the correct money and which one is the fake money, right? And the equation is exactly to maximum the likelihood of the true data set and the minimum the likelihood of the fake data set generated by the generator. So the detector is trying to maximum this likelihood, while the generator is trying to make a interruption, make a disturb to this detector, trying to make the money to be as true as possible, right? So this is the GAN, the idea of GAN. And based on this technique of GAN and related generation models, so there could be a lot of work done from Rutgers University, a lot of papers here with self-attention, with progressive growth in GANs and creative adversarial networks. So there could be a lot of things here. So what we cover is that we would like to cover more than 400 years and 200 artists. So there is a dataset called WikiArt dataset open in GitHub. You can freely access it with more than 25 gigabit. So with such a big dataset, so we would like to think about something interesting. Basically, let the user to input something, and then the AI model can create some painting based on the user's input. So this is very, very exciting because with this constraint, the AI is trying to understand the emotion, the feeling of the people, and then make the feeling to be seen by the user, right? For example, you can input freedom, restraint, these two keywords, and the AI can think about paint a house for you. But the difference is that for the freedom, the painting could be with bright sky, with big sides of the house, and facing to the front. Makes sense that it's free, right? The second one is actually in the darker house with smaller house size and is facing to the right hand side with some constraint around. This gives us a feeling that this one is more free than this one, right? And you can actually input a lot of fingers, so a lot of queries, so that you can get a picture, photos of different style, of different front end object and background scenario, something like it, right? So how exactly is this achieved? Actually, there is a work. So I was in part of it formally 2 years before in my firm company. So this is about you are inputting a query, and the query will actually um, map from the text to the image domain. So you input something, it will figure out something to draw here. For example, elephant, right? You can input a query and it will think about elephant. You can input freedom, it will output a house, a bird, a boat in the sky, a boat in the sea, a bird in the sky, or something else, right? We call it attention gun, the first step. The second one is actually we use creative progressive gun to from small to big to draw the front end um, object, for example, the house, elephant, and so on. The third one is actually we need to select the backend. So I was selecting a sky, a sea, a grass, a field, or something like it to express the emotion, the feeling from the user, right? We use a circle gun here to make a global harmony unification and central emotion integration for the expression of the user, right? And this can be done several times. So basically, we generate something, and we can keep input new guidance keyword to the chatbot, and then we do this loop again and again until the user can figure out that the final image exactly express his emotion. So it's separately trained, these three guns, and actually the final pipeline is jointly constructed. So in the app we developed before, it can include a lot of things, steps here. So getting inspiration, which is exactly the attention gun from the text to the image. And finally, you can think about the layers of paint. So layers means that front end, back end, and front end for the object, back end for the, for example, the big background, such as the sea, grass, field, sky, or something else, right? So this is really an exciting example I dropped from my former colleagues. So the topic here given from the user is that urbanization in China. So it's about that the development of China of Chinese government economic, right? So you are given this topic, actually different people, different artists living in history. For example, Van Gogh, Gauguin, and Dali, right? And Rembrandt. So a lot of Franz Marc, a lot of famous historical people, artists, are actually alive again to draw a picture for you for this topic, which is actually amazing. You can have more than 10 or 20 or 30 famous artists who draw a picture for you at the same time with their own style, with their own genre, right? For example, this Van Gogh, you can see an old man standing in a front for the Fred Mark. It's more like an airplane here, right? And for the Rubens, it's about a high building, right? A building that is built to express the urbanization in China. And also, could be Gaojin is people are living from small city to big cities. So something interesting to express the ideas, emotions, feelings of a topic, of the same topic. So let's talk about something more interesting. So we have this AI creation about painting, but how could we build a business model based on this AI painting? So one scenario we can think about is that could we use this AI painting for AI designing? Means that we can build a product with highly customized. So everybody is different. So does their clothes, usages, a lot of things. So for example, think about the one scenario. So I want to buy a gift for my mother, and I use this app. I input some warm sentences. For example, wish you good health, happy every day, and enjoy the food every day, or something like it. So based on these warm sentences, the AI Paint will automatically generate maybe tens and 20, 30 candidates for me, which is unique exactly for me only. So I select something from the image, from the product. For example, it's a handcraft or something like it. I select the only one in the world. So the kerchief delivered to my family. So it actually makes sense to this future AI designing based um, business model, I think. So actually, there are a lot of examples. So this is Microsoft Show Eyes, who actually did the solo exhibition 2 years before in the best place in China, the Chinese artist college, right? So all these things are generated automatically by the model I formally introduced, the three guns, right? Attention gun, creative gun, perceived aggressive gun, and circle gun. And also, of course, it can design more than this handcraft. It could be clothes, could be a lot of things you can imagine. It can be designed by the AI, right? So this actually opens a lot of business model. You can design umbrella, you can design kerchief, Coke, Coca-Cola, the bottom, the can, and also even the mask, which we wear frequently when we go out, right? So yeah, that's about AI painting. I think it's exciting if we have these gun models, we have a lot of data already, and we have the best GPU, so we can actually build millions of painting of different history period for a lot of people. The second one is actually very, very interesting. You know, GPT-3 is one of the biggest model with 1,700 billion parameters, right? So it's huge model so that people can use it to generate a lot of text. So let's go some detail. So these are two examples about interactive Chinese traditional poem generation. So for example, you are given several words. So the wild geese. So this given word, and this is a number here. So it is several keywords are given, and then you can generate the interesting poem here. The wild geese have flown 3,000 miles. I have left home for 70 years. Wow, it's huge. I just like the number floating on the water. So with homesickness, when I gaze into the distance, my sadness is getting stronger in this autumn. So actually, this is spring, not autumn, but actually it's give a strong emotion based on the user's input. The second one is quite alike. So you are given an input query. So in spring, the peach blossom are open. So based on this input query, you can extract some keyword. For example, spring, peach blossom, and it can even extend larger to a lot of things. For example, spring, swallow, willow, a lot of things can be extended. So with every word, keyword here extended, you can generate a sentence. And finally, you can have a poem, traditional Chinese poem here, right? So this is interesting, I personally think. And also in Japan, I developed something interesting 4 years before, 2017. And this is actually a famous Japanese poet, so who lived maybe 100 years, 500 years before. Yeah. So it's about ascent point, a frog leaps in the slash of the water. So yeah, this is Alina I developed before in my pharma company. So she's a girl, high school girl. She can draw something interesting and also generate some haiku. We call haiku in Japanese here, haiku. So good morning. I need evidence to say I love you, which is interesting for a young girl to see these words. And even more, we are encouraging the user of this chatbot to interactively generate the Japanese haiku here. So for example, we have maybe in the middle, we have just give one example here. So no tea together, so ocha shinai, no tea together, keikun shiteiru, so since I'm married, so it's here. And the second, please do not disturb me, so this thing. So this is a very simple Japanese style haiku. Yeah. So basically, let's go to another example, which is not only from text to text, but also from image inspired text generation. So this is my colleague's former work. So 2018. So basically, you input a photo and you extract the keyword here, city, street, traffic, road, a lot of things, and you filter the keyword. Maybe there is a weight here, right? So which one have a higher weight, and you take it and you use that keyword to generate the modern style poem. So you do not necessarily have 5 or 7 characters in each line. So you can freely have any number of characters here, right? So the city flows slowly behind him. My life is busy, yeah, of course. It's why we keep silence in the place no one knows, with lips curled into phony smile. Wow, okay, fine. This given image will output this poem here. And also, the models are updating frequently in these several years. So in 2015, 6 years before, we have the character RNN model, recurrent neural network, which is very, very simple, right? It's an autoregressive model here. I will skip more details. And actually, in 2018, my former colleague developed this two-level LSTM. What is two-level? It means that you can do it in sentence level and you can do it in poem level LSTM, right? So it's sentence level means you have a list of words and you organize it as a sentence. And the poem is that you have a list of sentences. You organize them into one poem, right? This quite like hierarchical networks, neural networks. So you have 2 levels from word to sentence, right? And from sentence to poem. And even last year, there is a most famous OpenAI's GPT-3, which can generate a lot of things from text, story to equations to code to a lot of things, even for multilingual translation or something like it. So we just briefly introduce a work that is interesting here. We call it a multimodal based pre-training developed by Chen 2020. So what's the point here is that the trained model called Uniter that not only mask the word, the caption of the image, not only mask the word in the caption, but also they mask the region of interest in the image, right? You can mask the people and you use the surrounding um, of the left image and also the caption to predict the masked region of interest. So you have two pre-trained tasks, the masked language model and the masked region modeling. This is quite interesting because through this way we can build a bridge that connects the text and also the image, right? And we can use this model to generate a lot of things. You are given an image, you are given a photo here, you can generate all levels of text. For example, given this one, we have a tree, we have a river, we have a road, and yeah, the description style is more like we have a tree beside the road with stones. It's quite simple. It's more like description, but still we can have well-formed Chinese traditional poem here. Every sentence have exactly 7 characters, and their final pronunciation will be in here, right? They have a kind of Ming, Cheng, Xing here, right? This first, second, and fourth sentence are quite pronounced in a very, very interesting way. And also you can have a Chinese modern style, we call it freestyle poem, right? So it can have any lines of characters in one sentence, right? And right, we come back to the business model of this technique. So basically, you can do a lot of things with it. In Japan, you know, when we buy a car, when we buy a bottom of tea, not the car, sorry. So a bottom of tea here, so they will actually input, print some interesting haiku here, right? So this is actually a cultural expression here. So you're not only drinking the tea, you also look at what is printed here and you feel the emotion of other people, right? Quite interesting. And also in China, there's a chatbot called Shouais, which I belong to in the former company. So they actually build a poem site, a book that totally generated by Shouais, which is actually very, very interesting. And the third thing is that, you know, for Chinese New Year, the Chinese New Year actually, they will print this red color poem and put it to the DAO to welcome the new year, right? So you can generate the next sentence based on the first sentence, which is actually make everything quite interesting, yeah, because you can generate exactly unique sentences for your family and for your friend, for a lot of people here. So we have introduced the two parts. Let's go to the most exciting music and singing, which is my favorite. So the first one is, as I said, is about piano. So piano generation, I will introduce my former work with my colleagues. So we call it transformer XL based music generation with time valued note. So the difference with music transformer of Google's research is that we currently express one note with a 4 tuple here. So basically, it's a note on, note off, and the pitch and the velocity here, right? We put it at one compact unit and then build a sequence learning model based on this. So we use a joint training here for 4 transform XL based model. So the one is node on to node on. For this node to the next node, how about that distance? This model here. Node on, node off is about the duration of current node. And also we have a pitch. So how high is this node can be pronounced or can be synced. And also the velocity here, right? So how fast is it? It's more like a speed to type a key in piano. So we just hear example here. Wow, awesome. I think it's quite interesting. It's include a crowd-like progression here, learned very well here, right? So we have a lot of examples in our paper. You can check it, and there's a link to reach more thousands of music we generated for piano, even though we currently generated the longest piano music in the world, which include more than 30 hours in one song, right? Which can be a record of the Guinness record. And also, let's go to the second one, which is multi-instrument generation. So we not only care about the piano, we also care about the arrangement and melody of guitar, of string, of a lot of things here, right? For example, drum, bass, guitar, and string. So how can we achieve this? So we have a formal work, 2018, the best student paper of CKDD here. My colleague, former colleague, did it. It's about the pop music generation. So mainly we focused on the melody and arrangement generation here. So we use two kinds of RST models, RSTM models at that time to arrange the things together. So basically, um, we have two models. The first one is child-based rhythm and melody cross-generation model. So rhythm and melody are generated in the joint way crossly. So basically, you generate rhythm and then generate melody. And on the other hand, it's more like a circle here. The second one is a multi-instrument co-arrangement model. So it's quite like the Transformer XL model we introduced before. So basically, you have a sequences of different instruments and they jointly learned. So every sequence will give you a hint. Finally, you have a loss function, which is done by autoregressive cross entropy loss. So just look at here's some example here. So basically, we ask a human to evaluate. So score 5 is the best. It's equal to expert level, and the score 4 is for normal composer level. Let's look at how the first model, CIM-CG model, I can achieve here. Okay, yeah, fun. Let's look at the second one. It's about how could we arrange the different instrument together. Okay. Okay, so we talk about the business model. I think it's senior. The senior is actually a quite huge strong business model in the world now. It's Hatsune Miku and it's Luo Tianyi in Chinese here, and we have more Xiaoai and Lena, more chatbot who can sing actually. So just introduce one model here, which is based on the fast speech. So name is Shall I Sing, and by my former colleague Lu, published last year. So basically, we need to given the music score here, So we are given a phoneme ID. Phoneme ID means the pronunciation of this exactly the character, the word, the character you are given in the music score. And also we need to predict the note duration. So how long do you pronounce this note, and how high the pitch do you pronounce this note. So basically we need the phoneme embedding, duration embedding, and the pitch embedding. And we will put all these things with precision encoding and the feed forward transformer blocks. And the important thing, because it is a non-autoregressive model, means that we predict the male spectrogram in one shot, right? So we will use a duration predictor here to predict the lines. So how long do you pronounce one phoneme? So finally, we can actually use this word vocoder to generate the final wave of this thing. So we have the encoder part and we have the decoder part. So both are like the encoder block of transformer. I think you already know the transformer from the paper. Attention is all you need with multi-height self-attention and also feed-forward neural network as a combination. The right-hand side is more like how do we organize the input. It's about I and U three words. So we can use the phoneme name, ID, pitch, quartized pitch, and beats in seconds, something like this. All these are put into the tensor as the input to train this fast speech style model. Just look at example here, right? I think this example is quite interesting. So I will try to use my mouse to figure out where is the scene going. So this is about how could we change from pop music into Peking opera. So from modern Chinese song into traditional Chinese song. I hope you enjoy it. So I think it's a very fantastic demo of the traditional Chinese music of singing by Xiaoai. So I think the business model is very clear because music is for all, for everybody, whether you do not understand the liquid or not. It makes sense to your feeling to give you impact of your feeling, right? It's Miku, Luo Tianyi, and the joint concert hold globally everywhere. And there are a lot of companies, startups who are focused on this AI creation for music, right? Ava and TikTok, a lot of things here, right? So the final question is about, is AI really creative? It's actually a very interesting question. So we hope we are trying to focus on this question in different directions about painting, interactive painting. So you input some query and you keep update the AI's generation result by giving them more and more feedbacks, right? And also you can give a query and ask different artists in different history to paint one painting for you, right? You can have this amazing experience based on the AI painting. And also you can build the AI poetry based on the input. Could be a query, could be a photo you took, could be a lot of things, right? Even you can actually give a video and give audio to the model, and it can output the text, right? Even it's not covered here, but the general model for multimodal learning is actually feasible. I know. I think I saw somebody else did it. The final one is actually my favorite. So you can do the piano music generation. You can do this pop music generation with multiple instrument. And finally, you can ask the chatbot to sing based on the automatically generated melody, arrangement, and the lyrics, a lot of things, right? I think it makes sense to step by step let the AI to create something new, totally new for you, and it can assist our daily creation of new features, of new painting, new text, and new music. I think there's so much for my presentation. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer here. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.